Yikes.
We've got to have a girls' night cooking experience.
Okay.
We've got to help TT out.
Like,
we got to.
You must, like, but he still love it here. You know, he just don't like the cooking, maybe. And he be trying to be nice about it. You know, I see you adding the salt. But, you know.
Does he cook?
Savannah. And he don't know how to cook either. So we both just, you know, he does not make turkey burgers. So that's what I'm saying. So.
Y'all kids gonna be just out of love.
Welcome to From Auntie with Love, a sister verse of Black women reimagining life together. 4 aunties in different seasons of life with stories to tell, thoughts to spill, wisdom to drop, and side eyes to give. Pour yourself some tea or something else. We are not here to judge. And let's get into the conversations that don't usually make it to the table, but they definitely should. I'm Kimberland, the grounded bougie auntie.
And I'm Vanessa, the free-spirited aunt.
I'm Shekinah, the Ask Me Anything auntie.
And I'm Cierra, the cool big sis auntie. And I would not be the cool auntie if I did not plug y'all in with some of our sponsors. So, are you ready to discover your destiny? Kimberland, your intuitive melanin life coach, is here to help you uncover your gifts, get clear on your purpose, and start living the life you were born to live. Feeling stuck? This is your sign to tap in. Get more information at dyd25.com today. Also, educators, this is for you. A space and community for educators to release stress, recharge, and reconnect with themselves and others. From yoga and mindfulness to local experiences, it's about making sure educators thrive beyond the classroom. If that sounds like what you need, follow Vanessa at The Well Educator on Instagram to bring this wellness space to your community.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Cierra, for letting us know who's sponsoring, who's keeping this show going. All right, y'all. So it is time to kick it off with our first segment for this episode, and it is a melanated media moment. All right. In this segment, I am going to bring us media from our melanated community, old, new, movies, TV, Instagram, all the things, and just talk about how it relates to life and what we got going on today. So before I say too much, Kimberland, roll the clip. Let them see what we're talking about.
Mama, you not excited?
About what?
About the wedding.
Yeah, unless she finds somebody else to marry.
Oh, Jesus. That is terrible.
Why is it terrible? You know him better than anybody.
Why would I know him better than anybody?
Because you be around talking to him.
I'm around because I work with her and I see him.
Yeah, you talk to him, you know him.
What are you trying to imply?
But I ain't implying anything.
Why would you say something like that?
Because why would I say something like that?
Yes, why?
Why do not what I say,
Because
what everybody else say?
It ain't no everybody. You are everybody.
Girl, I ain't everybody.
Let me tell you something. I'm going to try my best to respect you.
You better respect me.
You better tell you. I'm going to jump up at me like you going to do something to me.
We'll do something to you.
What is
Just shut your mouth right now.
Oh, stop.
I don't know what the arguing is about.
Why did you come?
Because I'm her mom. Why did you come?
Because I'm her friend and she asked me to
You ain't
come.
nobody's friend.
Mama.
What the hell is going on? As soon as I get out the room, they're just at each other's throats. How did I even get started?
I don't know.
She is evil.
She just jumped up like, nah, you my friend's mom, like she gonna do something to Joyce. I ain't finna let her do nothing to Joyce.
You ain't got to understand. I don't understand.
You better get her. I don't know how it started. She just talking.
You're not going to sit up there and try to insinuate that I got something going on with Ty. I'm sick of her running around town telling people that they keep talking. They said. She is Day. There is no Day.
You okay?
Yeah, if I could hit that.
Mama, this is starting off all wrong.
It's gonna be nice.
How beautiful that dress is. Ooh.
My aunt doesn't like this one.
What don't you like about it, Auntie?
I don't like nothing but this. I don't like nothing about it.
I'll try something else. Please be nice. Lord.
won't you go?
I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere.
Joyce, come on. Sit down, baby. She need to get the out of here. This
I'm
is a
not
family
going
thing. You
anywhere.
ain't no damn family. Joyce,
If
sit down.
you gonna make yourself look like that,
I'm
then
gonna
you
make
do that.
myself good.
But you gonna do that by yourself. When did you want to do that? When did you start wanting to do all of this?
I don't have to tell you. Keep talking to her.
But you can't control yourself right now.
You just keep on sitting here running your mouth. Why don't you just sit and then shut up? Either leave.
Stop talking to me.
Why don't you leave?
I have no problem not talking to her.
Why don't you leave?
Come for her.
She go around and get Candace's hair that's left over. That's what she do. Sit around there and catch whatever left over.
Lady, I have never got anybody's leftover hair in my life.
Let's go. Forget it. I don't want to do it no more. Don't worry about it.
Leftover hair.
Leftover shoes.
I don't wear any of her stuff. Where do you come up with this stuff from? You were acting a fool. You sitting up here acting a fool.
Whoa.
Look at you. That's crazy. You somebody mama.
Mama,
You somebody mama. Like, why would you do that?
If she called me a fool, I'd kick her ass.
Mama, I would have hoped that they could have gotten along just for a little while.
Sit down, put your shoes on.
Let's
Because your
stop.
heart beating all fast.
So that I can, have my first moment of trying on wedding dresses. Like, this is not the time for that. This is just like not cool. She not really in the mood. I'm not really in the mood no more. Nobody's really in the mood to look at dresses. So
Look, if she had anything class like when I asked her to leave, this is a family thing, she would have got her sorry, no good ass up and left.
Mama, calm down.
Calm down. Go on, try one more time.
Go put on another dress, please.
I don't like conflict, but if trying on another dress is going to help cool the room down, I'll try on another dress. Lord.
You need to leave.
Who is they? She is they.
You need to leave.
Girl, why? How she finna have a coronary and stroke out in the doggone bridal office? Girl, what are you doing?
Oh,
Like
man.
trying on a dress, she don't want to try on a dress.
Candy is my girl, and I hate to have this moment at her expense, but we got to talk about it, okay? This is some of the craziest 5 minutes of TV. Y'all know that was only a 5-minute clip, right? That went on forever. Now, if y'all are just listening, I implore you, okay? Implore to watch that video because it's a lot going on, and I'm gonna try to summarize it the best I can. Okay, daughter's getting married. Mom doesn't like daughter's new soon-to-be husband. They at the wedding dress shop. Mom gets into it with the best friend, claiming the best friend messing around with the fiance. Gets into it to the point she about to throw a shoe. Shoe gets took off and almost launched. Then the aunties jumping up. Well, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Whole time, the mama is being, the antagonist in the situation, making accusations. She is the ones that's saying
they them. She's
them. She's the one saying what all the hell she think going on, ruins the moment for the daughter. All right. So we seen a lot of dysfunction in that video, and unfortunately, Candy's not the only one who has dysfunction in her life, in her family, with her mom, with her aunties, with all the peoples, right? And you also heard Candy say she don't like conflict. So if trying on another dress is going to make her mama happy, she going to try on another dress. So I am curious to know, ladies, the aunties, aside from in addition to your first reactions, what dysfunction have you allowed in your life and why? That's my first question. Or have you witnessed being allowed in your family? Whoever wants to go first.
Let's start with my initial reactions to the video.
Okay.
And then answer your question. Candy is dead wrong. Candy is dead wrong. That whole I don't like confrontation thing, because if you watch the show, Candy allows her mother to do this to multiple people.
True.
I can't stand somebody that just sits back and allows somebody to do this to people you care about, all because you don't want to say anything. And then the aunties talking about, she just jumped up like she was going to do something to your mama. You're lying.
Egging it on.
And you're lying. It was the opposite. The mama jumped into my face. But anyways, yeah, so just regarding that, you can't control what other people do, but you can control what you allow people to do. And Candy allows her mother to do that because she doesn't like conflict. Well, you must do. She's creating conflict with all of your relationships. So how do you... because
that's good, Cierra. So it's kind of like she's gaslighting herself a little bit because, in a way, if you would nip it in the bud, we not throwing shoes. Ain't nobody throwing shoes at my.
And when I'm trying on my dress, and everything was like, oh, I don't like this, I don't like that. Well, what do you like? You know,
why you don't like the man? Why are you here?
Period.
Why are you here?
Why are you here? That was like one of the biggest things that I wrote down. I had to go get my notebook, y'all, because I was like, it's coming fast and in a hurry. And
you wanted to make sure.
Oh my God. I had to get these thoughts down because the number of times that I've had to run interference with family during one of my friends' weddings is outrageous. Like having to take the phone and being like, they're not available. Like the types of things that people will do when it is your best moments, when everything should be about you and you should be in like complete bliss, and people will come with their energy and just taint the whole situation. This girl about to get married, she trying on wedding dresses, and you can't control yourself enough to allow her to have this joy. Why are you here?
Because they said this, they said that about Bestie.
Who is they? Girl, they.
They said it about brand Bestie.
Listen, what you thinking, Vanessa?
Honestly, I don't watch the show. Well, I did, but like, I don't remember it like fully, but from that one clip, when you said you blame Candy, I'm like, whoa, but I didn't see it from that point of view. I'm just like, Ma, just out here tripping. But like you said, if you watch the show, like you can see that she just enable her mama or just like take up for her at every turn away because you just don't want to, you don't want to stir the pot even more. No pun intended. But you just don't want to stir the pot. But I can resonate with that because it's just like, hey, I just want everybody to keep the peace. And so I do kind of resonate with Candy just a little bit. Like, hey, girl, let me just try this on. But I understand that's not like the best way to do it. But if you just want to keep the peace, I understand why Candy is just like, I just try this little dress on. Everybody just sit down. Maybe she needed to have a little wine or something for them like sip on while they waited. They were just sitting there or a little show to watch. She was just a little bored. Sometimes when people are bored, they start doing stuff. Like you just start saying any old thing. And so that's why I feel like Mama was doing. She just wanted she was bored, so she just started saying whatever.
No.
That lady's crazy.
I would just
I was trying to play devil's advocate. Like, all right, well, maybe
sober, drunk. That's Mama Joyce. She gonna be about that action.
Maybe she was hungry and needed a little snack.
Right. She do be a little hangry. Okay, so we got our first reactions, but I want to know what have we allowed in our lives? Even if the word allow, maybe it's not the right word, but what dysfunction have we seen and either had to check it or, remove ourselves from the situation? Kimberland, you got all them notes, so I want to know what's on that paper.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that was coming up for me was that I was so happy that I learned about boundaries. Because that's what that is. It's like a lack of boundaries and trying to please, and the mom is controlling and she, dominates, and Candy doesn't know how to speak up for herself yet at this point and advocate for herself. And I can just relate so deeply. I didn't know that boundaries were a thing till I was over 30. And so, there was a lot of my life where people were treating me in ways that I didn't deserve and ways that I was treating people like I was infringing on people's rights. And that's what was done to me. So I don't know that you have boundaries either. So it really was making me think about that and like the power of knowing that that's not healthy behavior that is happening, right? It might be normal, but that's not healthy, you know, to have these types of experiences where you're supposed to have joy and anybody is causing you to feel like you're giving up on your own moment of joy because they don't know what to do. So that was kind of like the biggest theme of what was coming up for me.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Cierra? I know you got something to say.
Actually, I don't know if I've ever been around dysfunction like this.
Really?
Outside of work as a social worker. I've been around a lot of dysfunction. I was a foster care worker. My job was dysfunction, right? Dysfunctional families. So outside of a professional realm, personally, I will say, so I have some family members. I would say the most dysfunction that I've witnessed is in my extended family. I just don't like the way that they speak to each other and the way that the children are allowed to speak to adults. And then when the adults become adults, they still speak to their elders the same way. And it just makes me very uncomfortable.
Too. Very cringy.
What'd you say, Shekinah?
I said the youngers too.
Yeah. And it just makes me very uncomfortable. And I just was not raised that way. Even growing up, when we were being raised side by side, it was just like, yeah, I can't try that. I can't talk like that at home. I can't do that. So I think that's the only like dysfunction within the family that, not the only, but just, you know, surface of what I can think of right now. Just being uncomfortable with how, and it wasn't even like in this situation, it was the adults being, you know, disrespectful to her child or whatever. But in the situation I'm talking about, it's, I
said, you talking about me?
Girl, no, but you know who I'm talking about. But in this situation, it's the children being disrespectful to their elders. And that just makes me very uncomfortable in all aspects.
Yeah. So. I know for me personally, I don't tolerate disrespect very well. I just don't. And it's not that I'm about to get to fighting, but when I say that, I mean I have a very visceral response to disrespect. It affects me emotionally. I'm liable to say anything because I got a very, very smart mouth. And I am very witty, and I will hurt your feelings, right? And I don't want to do that. And I'm gonna put my business out there because whatever, it's fine. I haven't been speaking to my mom for the past 10 months because I don't do the disrespect, right? And for me, it's not an easy thing to not do, but after so many years of saying, hey, this disrespectful, right? And because it's your mama, I think for me, I have a higher tolerance than Joe Sally off the street, right? But I can't do that. I cannot put myself in, and as you said, Kimberland, these are boundaries. Boundaries are what I'm finna do, not what you gonna do. So my boundary is I'm not going to allow myself to enter into these conversations, enter into these types of situations until I feel confident that we could get through it, move through it without the disrespect and some other acknowledgement of other things. But for me personally, the next question I was going to say is like, what made it stop? But it was like realizing, hey, I don't actually have to listen to this. I actually don't have to engage, and I actually don't have to make you feel good. I don't have to, in Candy's case, try on another dress. So that's my little 2 cents. Vanessa, what you got on it?
Yeah, I like how you said that, like how you creating that boundary for yourself. I feel like and similar to Kimberland, when she said she learned how to like do those things and what boundaries were in her 30s. I am too in that phase right now. I'm 27, but I would say like I had that people pleaser in me real bad. I don't know what it was or what about me or my family where I just felt like I just had to do everything right and make sure everybody is happy at like the detriment of me. Like I'm running myself ragged. I've seen that like in my friendships and family and things like that. And I feel like it just, when I really felt like I was tired and looked around, like, hey, where everybody at? is where I was like, okay, hey, let's like reevaluate something. Because I feel like it becomes very draining when you keep showing up for people and you don't see the same energy reciprocated for you. And not to say like, oh, I'm just showing up for you because I expect you to show up for me, but it's just like, hey, like, why wouldn't you want to be? Correct. Like, why wouldn't you want to do that? And so I feel like my dysfunction was like even though I'm tired, I'm like, oh, but I told him I'm going to be here. I'm told I'm going to be there. So I have to keep going and showing up. But no, hey, it's okay to like let somebody know, like, hey, I can't make it. Actually, I need to like take a minute for myself. And so that's something that I have been doing lately. I'll say within the last year, I started doing that. But I'll say it's a little bit more consistent now. And shout out to my bookie bot, because he was like, one day I was like, I didn't feel like going out, but I still went out because I thought he wanted to go out. He was like, now we over here arguing. We could have just been laid up, but now we over here arguing because he didn't want to go out, and we did. Like, who did that serve? Who did that help? Nobody.
Yeah.
We could have been laid up, been booed up, but now we're
big chilling.
Big chilling. Now we're over here going back and forth because I'm tired. Because
I don't want to be here.
Oh no, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say that actually makes me think that, I've been thinking about this for a while when we talk about being a people pleaser. I was always the opposite, and I am learning how to be a little bit looser with my boundaries, because I am one of the ones, like she kind of say, you're not going to play with me. And if I think that you think you're going to play with me, it's already wrapped. Like the wall is built completely up. And so as I've gotten older, I'm realizing you don't have to be so like, I'm total opposite of people. I will say no before you even think to ask me the question. The answer is no. And I don't have it. No.
I think I be giving people grace. Like, I always try to see the good and everything. Like, you stabbed me back 3 times. Oh, but you ain't mean to.
Yes.
You're like, oh, you just missed my heart a little bit. It's okay.
Yeah.
So I think, you didn't mean to do all that, but like, I think just having the balance between knowing when to give people grace, and when not to give them grace, like, is very important.
Yeah, because you don't want to be too far on either side. And I definitely found myself on the side of I didn't even give you a chance to even play with me, or if I thought I took everything. You did that intentionally. You intentionally did that to hurt me, and I will not let you do it again. Whole time, that wasn't even you thinking too highly of yourself, honestly. Maybe I wouldn't even think about that. So that's just something that I've had to. Yep. So I think that's why it frustrates me so much watching Candy not say anything, because I know that I would never be able to even give even just a little bit of, like when she said, okay, I'm gonna try on that dress. When I tell you I would have tore the whole, ain't nobody gonna see another dress messing with me. But that's something, like I said, you don't want to be too far on either side, because then you're not approachable. You're not, people don't feel like they have grace with you, or like they can make a mistake because you're going to, automatically just be done with them.
Yeah. And I love those two perspectives. Kimberland, what you want to add on that before we wrap up this melanated media moment?
I just feel like there's a theme that is emerging of prioritizing yourself and honoring how you feel instead of denying like what we're feeling inside in order to give that over to somebody else, so I just feel like I keep hearing that, like, what do I want? What do I need? What does that look like for me? And they will be okay. Like, they will be fine. So I wonder what that would look like for us and the folks who are listening, to really just be thinking about the places where we have sacrificed our own peace, our own joy, our own whatever for somebody else. And how can we take our power back from that and start making small choices or saying small things to start moving to that middle ground, if you will, where you're more comfortable with advocating for yourself. So Yeah.
I love that. And I want y'all to sound off in the comments. Let us know, where have you denied yourself? Where have you seen some dysfunction, some people pleasing, some people displeasing areas in your life? And how are you finding the balance? How are you working to prioritize the things that you need? Because shoot, we are not perfect, okay? We all still working on this whole dynamic of boundaries, of prioritizing ourselves. And we want to hear from you. So let us know in the comments. All right. All right. So Vanessa, what we got next on the docket? It's time to start.
I'm ready for this pot to get stirred. Okay.
All right, so we're going to get to the next segment, which is Stirring the Pot. And with Stirring the Pot, we're going to talk about some controversial takes on some things. So I might say a phrase or a statement or just a topic in general that may be controversial amongst, the community. And I just want to know what the aunties are feeling about it, what the aunties think. Do they agree, disagree? Why not? And so let's get into it. The first one is, what are your thoughts around continuing traditions? Like, we know all families or most families have traditions and ways to go about things, especially in the Black community. So I want to know, what are your thoughts on continuing traditions or hobbies because so-and-so in the family did it, i.e. like, oh, I'm going to go to FAMU because my mama went there, my uncle, cousin, Tracy, daddy, all of them went to FAMU, so I'm going to go there, or becoming a doctor because that's what everybody in the family doing, or somebody told me I need to do that, pledging, all of that. Like, what are y'all thoughts on continuing those traditions or hobbies in families?
Well, I would say it depends. You have to know your child with this, I think, because I don't think inherently there's anything wrong with creating this legacy, creating this, like you said, we all graduated from FAMU. I think that's cool. We all pledged this sorority.
It's amazing, by the way.
I think that's cool.
Okay.
From somebody like myself, like, I don't have a bunch of aunties, uncles. My mom's the only child. My dad's family, he has brothers. They all kind of went and did their own thing. So I do, in the essence, like, miss that kind of camaraderie that you can find around the things. But I think it becomes a problem when it's like my way or the highway kind of thing. Like, if your child doesn't want to pledge, if your child has no desire at all to be a doctor, you about to waste your money, bruh. Like, you're gonna waste your money. So I do think it's important to know your child, but I do also think it is, as a person, going into school, making these decisions, to think about and consider, what kind of legacy am I leaving for future generations?
Yeah, I agree. And just even with, like, telling the kid, like, hey, you tall, you 6'10", go play basketball. Right. The kid don't actually, like, maybe they don't want to do that. Maybe they have other skills, other talents, but you're like, hey, you tall, you need to do that, or so-and-so in your family used to do that, you need to do it as well. It's like, no, if I'm not interested in it, I'm just not interested. What you think of Cierra?
For me, this goes back to not being a people pleaser. If I don't want to go to the college, baby, I'm not going to the college. Okay. If I don't want to join the sorority, baby, I'm not joining the sorority. Don't ask me. Okay. But I do think, me personally, I like to have that bonding with my family members. So my mom is a social worker. I think I genuinely became a social worker because my mom was a social worker. So I think where in areas that I'm interested, or areas that it comes natural or genuine, then yes, I would want to follow, in those footsteps in my own way. But if it's something like, it's just like, okay, well, the last, 5 people went to this college and we expect you to go, well, they don't have a social work program. Why would I be going there? So, like, if that wasn't, what I wanted to do, I'm not just going to go just to make somebody happy, because I'm going to be the one on that campus. I'm going to be the one doing that work. I'm going to be, you're not even going to be here. So your opinion doesn't matter. So for me, I personally would not do something just because it's the family tradition, but I also do like family traditions. So if it was something that I was aligned with, I would, if that makes sense.
It really does. I feel like I'm kind of falling in the middle of like an intersection here. There was a time in my life where I was starkly against family traditions. Like, if we doing it, I'm doing the opposite. I'm not doing it. Right. Oh yeah. I'm not doing this. Like, this is dumb. Why are we doing this? We just doing stuff to be doing it. I don't like it. And now in this, for context, I'm 44. So in this phase of life, I find myself seeking out traditions that were lost that I wish would have been passed on. So thinking like recipes, or I wish before my grandmother passed away in 2017 and she had dementia. So we stopped having the opportunity to have conversations to get, the lemon pound cake and to understand where she actually came from. And so here I am now in this phase trying to piece together a family tree of sorts, because our family didn't really talk or like share those things. So even though I went through this phase of like F y'all's traditions, I'm now not that I didn't understand then, but I am more intentional, if you will, about the types of things that I'm wanting to carry forward, to Shekinah's point earlier about legacy and documenting history and understanding that we were here and that people will, need to know that we were here. So I feel like my tradition alignment, if you will, has kind of went down that lane.
And I would like to, I'm going to give basically, I would like some advice from this. Like, it just came to me, it's like real life. So I told my family, like, hey, I want to be a vet. I don't want to be a veterinarian. What I said was, I wanted to be a dog groomer. I wanted to work with animals. But they all assumed that I wanted to be a veterinarian. And so then I ended up going to college for 4 years to become a veterinarian. We all know I didn't do that. But, it took a while for me to even be able to even tell them, like, hey, I'm not doing this. Again, this is my senior year. Last semester in college, that's when it hit me like, hey, I need to tell y'all that's not what I'm going to go continue to do. I'm not going to go do 4 more years to be a veterinarian. So I want to know if the aunties have any advice for anybody that is going into something, like they decided to commit to maybe going to college that they're not really feeling, or choosing a profession that they're not really feeling, joined a sport because somebody says so. Like, what is some advice you could tell, the listeners, like, even if they did it, like, what can they do to kind of just like, voice their opinion? Like, what is some advice?
That's an excellent question.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say,
it really is.
For one of my newfound commandments is that I will hold space for change and forgiveness. I was very much, I decided to do this, so I have to continue to do it. I said I was going to do it, so I have to continue. How am I just going to up and quit and do a whole new thing after I've been here for X amount of years, right? And I think especially when we're younger, especially when we have parents and other parental like influences, we want them to think we got it together, right? We want them to think we've made this decision and we stand behind it and we're not all over the place, and them motherfuckers don't know what they want to do either. They probably have had 27 careers also, which is part of their kind of pressure, if you will, to like, for you to hone in on something, because in a way, I'm sure some of it is they don't want you to have to go through the changes that they went through. But baby girl, it's a part of life. It's a part of, and it's something I just turned 30. I am just like kind of accepting and being like, I'll be okay, right? I will be okay. It may not make everybody happy, but like we spoke to earlier, this is what's going to be good for me. And if it's not, I'll do something else. Mm-hmm. I will be okay. But also we have to like forgive ourselves for whatever pressures, whatever gaslighting we did to ourselves, telling ourselves we was going to enjoy it and bringing other people along for the ride. Hey, this is what I'm doing now. This is my career now. And I felt all of that. I used to be a financial advisor. I got to call everybody in my phone. Hey, this is what I'm doing. You want to buy some life insurance? You want to buy some life insurance? And it's a big career move, right? But now I don't do none of that. And how do I put myself out to the world and rebrand myself and do it confidently and boldly? And hey, I'm in branding marketing right now. In 2 years, I might not be doing this either, but I am giving myself the space, the room, the forgiveness to change, to explore what actually makes me happy. And I don't think that's something easy to do, again, especially when you're younger, but it's very necessary. So that would be the advice from you. Ask me anything, Auntie.
I was about to say that. Go ahead and pick your mic up and then just drop.
Okay.
Okay. Not saying I don't want to hear from the other aunties. Okay. I think my girl covered it and clocked it. Okay.
She did.
Taking more notes.
Okay, giving yourself, I like you said, giving yourself grace, giving yourself room to explore and try new things, I think is really important, especially like, it don't matter how young you are, how old you are, you can always pick up something new and try something new, unless you want to be a rapper, then just,
Okay. we got it. We
okay, I'm not gonna judge, but like, you either gotta do, And so the last thing I wanted to talk about was, how they always say.
Wait, can I add one thing? I was gonna say, become a student of who you are, right? Even in all of these experiences, because I also recognize, depending on who is financing your education, especially when it comes to a college situation or an educational situation, you kind of have to do what you have to do sometimes. So you want to look for ways that you are able to honor yourself, right? So if you are having to go be a veterinarian, but you know that you actually want to be a dog groomer, well, then can you get in some art classes? Can you get into like fashion? Can you like really immerse yourself in that world so you're also getting that experience as well? And then what I will say is that if you're in a situation where you feel like you've kind of been forced, I would encourage you to think about what you can take from that and apply that to whatever your life is going to be. A lot of times it feels like things are very random and you're just doing things to be doing things, but there are ways that you can take that unique skill set and really carve out a niche that speaks to people. So if you aren't in a position where you feel like you're stuck and you can't pivot, and if I do that, I'm going to get cut off or whatever the consequences might be, what can you get out of that to actually apply that to what you really want to do?
Great point.
Thank you for adding that, Kimberland. And it's going to bring us right into a thankful message from our sponsors. Cierra, who else do we have today?
All right, so let me tell you guys about Shekinah, our brand bestie. Did you know that Shekinah also runs LTS Promotions, where she offers one-on-one branding services, where she helps entrepreneurs and creatives cut through the noise, get clear on their brand, and finally stand out online. If your brand feels all over the place, this is your sign to tap in with Brand Bestie. Head over to tinyurl.com/thebrandbestie to book your free clarity call today. And also, if you are not following me on TikTok, go check me out at CMills1. I'm a social worker and I'm a young Black woman sharing affordable fashion finds, lifestyle tips, and all the relatable moments you didn't know you needed. And that is at CMILLSZ1.
Yes, please tap in with my girl. Content goes crazy. Okay. So thank you for that, Cierra. Now it's your turn to talk about what segment we got next, because this one might be a little, as if we haven't been controversial already today. The aunties like to get into it. Okay. But you might not agree with C. What we got on the plate, on the table?
All righty. So all of my life, I've been giving out controversial takes or unpopular opinions, if you would say. So being that I am a content creator, mostly on TikTok, I doom scroll a lot. And I see lots of different lifestyles and different lifestyles, the way people are living their lives, right? We all live our lives differently. And a big community on TikTok is moms, right? So there's this community of stay-at-home moms, working moms, moms with 6 kids, moms with 1 kid, or whatever. There's this all different type of communities of moms on TikTok. However, what's been standing out to me, or what I see a lot, are stay-at-home moms, right? And growing up, I never had the desire to be a stay-at-home mom. ever. Like that just was not, maybe because my mom was not a stay-at-home mom, that's just not what I grew up seeing. I grew up seeing both parents go to work. But as I've gotten older, I have thought about, well, as I've been working, I'm like, I could be a stay-at-home mom, you know what I'm saying? But as I'm watching them on TikTok, it seems as though most stay-at-homes, okay, hold on. Let me get a disclaimer, because I know how people like to do. Let me give a disclaimer. I know that all marriages are different and that your marriage will be what you allow it to be and what you work for it to be, right? Disclaimer. Moving back. I see a lot of stay-at-home moms on TikTok where they are essentially single parents because their husband is taking care of the bills, providing, all of the financial support. The household and the children becomes their sole responsibility. And the thought behind it is because the bills are his sole responsibility, the home is now your sole responsibility. And so I saw one where she was like, he may not know when the kids need to go to the doctors or, something like that, but I also don't know when, this bill is due or whatever. So I'm like, I get that, right? But however, I feel it's a little different when it comes to your child. You are the parent and you cannot compare that to the water bill. You know what I'm saying? That's your child. So I don't know. I just want to know what your guys' takes on that. I just see a lot of times where, like I said, the stay-at-home mom is responsible for everything in the household, all the cooking, all the cleaning, all the children's activities, all the children's responsibilities. And the dad, takes care of the finances, but he is not part of taking care of the home because he has to go to work. So what are we thinking?
Well, there's one or two reasons why I can't be a stay-at-home mom. One is my food ain't that good. So,
that part.
I will follow the recipe to the T. I would even be like, you know what? Let me just season it until it feel right. And I don't know if anybody ever felt this, but like the aroma would smell damn good. Like you would think somebody had thrown down. And you taste it, and it's like, what's going on? So I don't think it just wouldn't work out for me. I could have the desire in the world. I could be like, yeah. Some stay-at-home moms, they be having their own little online business or whatever. It don't even got to be online, But it's just the fact that I wouldn't be able to fully do that role because I can't cook good. And
and I don't like to. So that everyday thing, you lost.
I be wanting to be in the bag. Like I go to the Whole Foods. I go to I get the fresh thyme. Okay? I get the rosemary, I get the dill. And
that dill
maybe I shouldn't combine all three of those.
No.
But
no, those definitely don't go together.
Well,
maybe you should start there.
Yeah, maybe there you have it. Because when I learned about pimentos, I'm not gonna get on a tangent. But what I'm just saying is, even if I would like to be a stay-at-home mom, I couldn't do it because people come home and be like, "What is this?" And I know right now, my boyfriend, he be trying to be nice about my cooking, but he just be like, "Oh yeah, no, I don't need nothing to go." Like, I'm good.
Yikes. We've got to have a girls' night cooking experience. Okay. We've got to help TT out.
Like,
we got to.
You must but he still love it here. He just don't like the cooking maybe. And he be trying to be nice about it. I see him adding the salt. But
does he cook?
Savannah? And he don't know how to cook it. So we both just, he does know how to make turkey burgers. So that's what I'm saying. So
y'all kids gonna be just out of
listen, but you know what's gonna be cool? Because they ain't gonna know the difference.
You right.
They don't know what's good, what's bad.
No, they don't know.
Just
they let them come to Auntie house. They like change.
Why food don't taste like
life will be changed. Like my mama can't cook.
Why don't
them kids know?
Yeah, you
were born with taste buds
about this.
Yeah, you'll probably have them for a few years, but
Okay.
Yeah.
after that, after 5,
I did a whole episode about this. Like I refused to eat from like 5 to 7.5, 8 years old when my dad took over cooking because my mother cannot cook at all. So they gonna know. But this is the thing too though. It doesn't mean that cooking has to be your ministry, right? Like people need to get fed. So you go through whatever that looks like. So that might mean maybe you're ordering out or whatever. Like it might look different. So I don't think that the cooking would disqualify you, if you will. But what I was thinking the whole time while C was sharing was this why I didn't have kids. Because I never wanted to be a single parent. Mm-hmm. I never wanted to be a single parent. And to think that you're having kids with a partner who should be responsible to help you and you still doing that ish by yourself, count me out. Period. Mm-hmm. I don't care what bills you paying. Come in here and take a shift so I could go to sleep. What are you talking about right now?
Absolutely.
And I mean before I get mad.
Like if I open that diaper up and boom, and you don't get experience, and you don't understand what I'm saying.
The only job I've ever wanted was to be a housewife. Okay, I don't want to go to work nobody's job. Okay, I don't want to do it. I'm not doing it now. That does not equate to single parent, married single parent. Okay. Mm-hmm. I don't mind making the home. I don't mind cooking. I don't mind organizing. I also don't clean the kitchen. So, there's that. But like you said, Cierra, relationships are what you make them. And I think that your person is that for a reason, right? There's an understanding. He got the night shift. I'm going to sleep. He understands me. Mm-hmm. I'm not necessarily the early riser of the two of us. So I may not be the one dropping the kids off. I don't know. We ain't got kids, so we ain't talking about that. But also, I don't want to do that, I guess what I'm saying, I don't think there should ever be like a 100-100 situation. Maybe when it comes to paying the bills, because once you get to a certain kind of income level, like you go ahead and take that. But that don't mean I'm not finna know when the light bill due, how much it is, who we paying it to. Now that's just ignorance. Like I don't believe women should be oblivious to the finances just because you're not making money, because then why? That's not a marriage, right? A marriage is we are mutually involved, mutually responsible. Now, because I'm better at it, I'll do it, right? You just better down to the job. Like I don't. You got that work ethic that I just right. I got that kitchen. I'm a more nurturing person, but you're gonna take these kids. You're not babysitting your own kids. You understand? I am tired and I'm fin to take a nap, so go ask your daddy. You know what I'm saying? So I grew up with both my parents being as involved as made sense, or as, I don't want to say as necessary, but it made sense, like their level of involvement. I don't think it's fair to just put 100% burden of the children y'all made on any one parent, whether it's a stay-at-home dad or a stay-at-home mom. Like we both are gonna, and there are certain things that even if I have a girl, you got to get that from your daddy, right? You got to get that interaction, that confidence boost, whatever it is, from your dad, especially boys. Like you got to get that from your dad. You can't be with me all the time and expect a well-rounded human being. You know what I'm saying? So I think it is very important to have these kinds of conversations early and understand you may have to be a little flexible on some things, right? You may have to, maybe, you're not the best cook, but can you take a class? Can you take a lesson, right? That's something we can build upon and we could do better, right? It's not to say how I am now is how I will be forever. Or you could get you 5 staple meals and, you could.
I've been trying forever, Shekinah.
Hey, call me, girl, call me. You only 27. They ain't been no damn.
But my salmon eats. Don't nobody make a salmon like I make a salmon.
Okay.
But I eat salmon all the time. My salmon eat.
That's
You
fine.
want to come and
That's
taste a
fine.
good salmon? Call me up.
Okay.
You want some chicken? You out of luck.
Bars. Not you trying to rap,
Lord.
y'all. Okay, so look, if we need some good salmon, Vanessa, I'm gonna call you. But next time, just holler at your girl before you add that dill in there. And Cierra, we ain't gonna talk about you and that sugar. You know what you did.
I was directed to do that.
I hope it's not in no grits. Did we say sugar and grits? Because if it's in grits,
No, I put salt and pepper, baby, and my rice too.
Okay.
But I was trying to make greens for the first time. They told me to put a pinch of brown sugar.
Who is
Brown
they?
sugar is even.
who is they? It's always they. It's always they. You know, you told yourself.
He is they.
You want it to be a little different. You want it to be
And when I
different.
tell y'all, I watched a few different ones, and they was like, just add a pinch. So I added a little pinch, and then I posted my video. Everybody like, what? I'm like,
Girl, you had done made some rage bait.
don't you? No, literally. So I'm gonna have to try it again. And I didn't put vinegar because I only had white vinegar, and everybody was saying use apple cider vinegar. And so I'm like, I didn't know if vinegar was interchangeable.
You don't even need it.
And see, I don't eat greens, so I wouldn't even know what to do. I don't even know if it's good or not. I don't even eat them.
So Shekinah, I need you to make some, film it, send it to me. I'm gonna recreate the video, and we're gonna do it like that.
Me too.
That I can do.
Me too.
That I can do. It's really very simple. No, just kidding. Well, okay, so I think basically what we're all saying here is the sentiment is just resounding. All right. What's important to you? What is your priority? Don't get on these TikTok streets and let them trick you into thinking you got to put sugar in your greens. Okay. Or you got to be the only one taking care of your kids with that husband upstairs. Okay. And I wanted to ask you this earlier, Cierra, but we'll have to say this for the next time. As a recovering people pleaser, it is not easy to say these things. I'm speaking very confidently right now, but I know it is very difficult sometimes to say the thing that is not expected, to do the thing that is against the grain, right? And it takes flexing a certain muscle. It takes working a certain level of confidence that we'll speak on in another episode. So don't think I'm just like, it's just so easy, just say the thing. No, girl, I get it. It takes us some time. We got to get our brain people in order, okay? So with that being said, Kimberland, take us right on in to the next segment.
Come on, Segway did that masterfully. Okay, shoot. So, y'all, this segment is called Dear Brain People because every brain's got a story. Now, when we talk about brain people, basically it's like the operations that's happening upstairs in your brain, right? If you think about movies like Inside Out, you can kind of get an idea. There's something going on up in there, and somebody pushing buttons or something is happening, right? So today we've been talking about family and dynamics and boundaries and, honoring ourselves. So the question that I want to pose for us is, if you could rebuild your family from scratch, what would be your non-negotiables?
I got chills.
And you can receive that however you want to receive that, whether you're talking about people or characteristics or what have you. But if you could rebuild your family from scratch, what would be the non-negotiables?
You said characteristics, and I thought of a lot. But I would say for me, number one, characteristic-wise, would be kindness and patience. And activity wise, like I would love a mediated family meeting. I would love
heavy on the mediated.
Yeah, no, absolutely, because I can't hear you.
No, I never heard that before.
And you can't hear me. But I see people who have family meetings, and I think it is very powerful, right? And I think it is very cool to allow, especially young children, space to express likes, dislikes, what's working for them, what's not, and it be received by the adults in the situation. So I think that would be definitely something I would love to implement. And I say mediated because as adults, as children, we don't always hear each other. We don't always have the tools to work through certain conversations, and it could be detrimental to not have those things and still try and have these conversations. It could actually have the opposite effect. So I think having someone who is completely objective and whose intention is to equip us to be better, do better, hear better, would be instrumental.
Giving big therapy vibes. That's what I was just thinking. Yep, the non-negotiable would be therapeutic support. Okay. All right. What else?
I like that. I'm gonna take your mediated family meeting, and I'm gonna take that. But something of my own that came to me is I want us to have a designated time throughout the week that, hey, no matter what's going on, we're here doing this thing together. It doesn't have to be a meeting. It can be something that, everybody either once a week, somebody thinks about what they want to do together as a family. That way everybody has a choice in what that activity is. So for instance, maybe because I feel like I'm gonna have multiple kids. So like maybe one kid likes something likes anime, but the other one doesn't, but you have to experience. So if that's what the kid wants to do, you have to experience it and, get a taste of their world and see what they're into. Just everybody trying something new and trying something different that the family member comes up with. I feel like is.
I like that.
Like something and we're doing it once a week. So like, hey, don't say you got to work late today, Dad. Like you're here, you're committed to it.
It's protected time.
Protected. Yeah, I guess that's what I'm looking for. Protected time, because I feel like we get so lost in the day to day of things. Like, hey, no, we're doing this together as a family. Everything else is just gonna have to wait that day. Unless it's like, hey, something is like dire, but like if it's not, this is our time together. We're doing it, and it's collective. Everybody gets to choose. Have an opportunity to choose, what we get to do that week.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love that.
That actually leads me into mine. So mine would be like a very close-knit family. I grew up with a very blended family, but we were very close growing up. But then as we've gotten older, we've all kind of started to branch out and do our own thing. So we don't get together as much as I would like, especially me kind of being I guess I'm not the only, I don't know. I just feel like with me being young, no kids, single, I just live a different life than two of my brothers. One's engaged, one's married with 2 kids. My sister, she's not married or have any kids, but she travels a lot. She's just very much got her stuff together. And we kind of, like I said, we get together, every once in a while, but I would rather us get together a little bit more and do, just be a little bit closer. So I would want once a year, family vacation. I would want us to all go to my parents' house on Christmas morning and we all wake up there together, just stuff like that to carry out those traditions. I would be one of those ones that would want to live on a family compound, that type of thing. Now don't just pop up unannounced. I don't do that pop-up stuff.
A boundary.
Yeah, I don't do that. My mom, one time she popped up at my house. She still to this day talk about how I ain't let her in. Well, what you doing over here? I don't know why you popped up over here. Okay. But yeah, I was the
balls on this woman.
I was asleep. Now that one I was asleep. What we gonna do? Yeah. I was taking
I'm here for this.
I was taking a nap. What, you gonna come in here and watch me take the nap? What you want? Not right now.
So I'm sorry, we ain't gonna see past that. So did you wake up from your slumber?
Yes, she called. I talked to her on the phone.
And left her outside.
I don't know what you're doing here, Miss Ma'am. I'm asleep.
C is me. C is me, baby. Do not show up to anywhere that I do not know that you are coming, especially my house. Do not do.
And don't just pop up here. Don't.
I do not lie.
I don't like that. I
agree with C.
House because I lived there. You know what I'm saying? That was my house growing up, so I could pop up there. You didn't live here.
Well, I don't know if that works that way now, though. See, now I was just saying I agreed, and now I don't know. I might take a little bit of that
a double standard. This is a standard now. It's doubled.
Y'all cutting out like I can't even really hear. No, because like I can't.
Oh, now we cutting out
no more. Yeah,
I'll send you the replay. Okay.
Yeah, because I got a key. She don't have no key.
That is for emergencies. Because
I guess my dad, they do have a key, but that is absolutely for emergencies.
But yours is not.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, well, y'all, we got the beautiful bean footage recorded. All right. I don't know how many of y'all are going to get that reference, but we got the receipt. All right. So interesting. But no, I really do agree with a lot of what you shared, Cierra. Like, I think it's important for us to have healthy boundaries. That's one of the things that I wrote down. I wrote down what I would want to be intentional about are healthy boundaries, emotional regulation, the ability to ask questions, and deep conversations. I don't know who those people are that I'm related to. I don't know anything about those people, like who they are as people. And I'll also offer, Shekinah was very transparent earlier in sharing that she hasn't spoken with her mother in a while. I haven't spoken to my mother in like 8 years because she is a toxic person, and I had to draw a boundary for my peace, and I had to choose my peace over this fanciful relationship that we are not ever going to have because she's not doing the work for us to have that. So there are a lot of dynamics, when we're thinking about our families and thinking about the things that we want to be intentional in doing. So those were the things that really rose up for me. We just I don't know who they are. I didn't have a chance to ask questions. If I did ask questions, I got in trouble. We didn't really talk about things. Like, we talked about the weather and how was your day? Always had to say it was good. Like, we just never really got beyond the surface. And so for me, that's something that's really important in my conversations, that I'm having deep and meaningful conversations with people. So that would definitely be a mandatory thing for me.
That actually reminds me, but makes me think this lady I follow on TikTok, she lost her dad unexpectedly, and she ended up coming up with a card game. I think it's like Things I Never Got to Ask or something. And it's a card game for you to ask your loved ones these deep questions and get to know them before they pass, because these are questions you don't think about, like, what, dang, I didn't know that about my, dad or my mom or whoever. So it's those for you to have those deep conversations before it's too late. And it's something I thought about getting, but I think that is something that we all should do, is to have those conversations. Because like you said, I don't know these people and they don't know me.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And they don't know me. So I love that. I am a question asking girl. You understand me? I believe in asking questions and talking about things that otherwise wouldn't come up in conversation. So I love this idea. Let's make sure we put that link in the description so that, people can check it out. It might also be something that we could do together, is have episodes like where we ask questions, or one of the things that we can do during our girl nights or whatever, because I also think that a lot of people don't know how to have these conversations. They're not used to building a safe container to be able to talk about things that matter. And it's one of the things that I'm appreciating the most about what we are doing here, is we're really creating a space for y'all to be able to ask the questions. You got to be able to ask somewhere, baby. And if you can't ask Auntie, who can you ask? So that is why we are here, because we want
Absolutely.
y'all. Okay. So yeah, wow. Any other thoughts before we get ready to roll up out of here that we want to uplift, or anything you want to double down on?
I did when you just said we can do the questions on here, I do have another game, or it's called Let's Get Deep, and it's the Friends edition. So definitely we got some more options. We can definitely, have a segment towards that and get to know each other more as we embark on this podcast. podcast journey together.
Indeed. Listen, I'm excited. I had a good time. All right. This was a good girl auntie time. And I want to say thank y'all for sharing. You know, this is a space where, like you said, we want people to just feel comfortable. We want people to feel confident coming to us and talking. So the more we share, hopefully the more y'all share. And sound off again in the comments. Let us know, what are y'all thoughts on this stuff? What kind of things would you like to, if you could build your family from scratch, what would be non-negotiable? And I love hearing from other people because, you know, it opens your mind to like, oh, I didn't even know that was an option, right? I didn't even know that was something we could explore or do or build. So as y'all think of things, please let us know, and we'll continue to grow this community one comment at a time.
Yes. So y'all remember to like the video. Okay. Like the video, leave the comments, share this with someone. We know that while y'all been here, y'all at least kikied a few times. Okay. We are positive, honey. So share those kikis with somebody else. Okay. But there also have been so many gems that have been dropped. So share this with somebody and use this as a tool to be able to really start having those deeper conversations. Connect with us on YouTube at Minding My Black Ass Business, or you can search for From Auntie with Love.
All right, y'all. Thanks for spending time with your aunties today.
Until next time, remember,
we love you and we see you.
And we're rooting for you with love. Always.
Bye.
Bye.